Okay, so I gotta just point this out while we were off camera. Dave was moving, he was trying to figure out a way to make it so I couldn't kill these guys. So he had them in this beautiful little formation in the middle and had the Terminators around him. And I kept looking at him really weird. And then he like looks at me and he's like, oh, you would just vindicate him. And I was like, yeah, please do what you're about to do. It would be really great, man.
In all fairness, by now in the game, I have usually gotten rid of all of the annoying Vindicators. And this one hasn't been blowing big holes in my army, so it's made it kind of forgettable. So...
What can I say? It's a big, it's truly, I mean, we could talk tactics about Vindicator, and I'm sure
I love Vindicators. This one's made such a low impact on me that I've honestly forgotten. I keep thinking it's another shiny Rhino.
Let's shoot this thing. We're going to shoot it with a heavy flamer. We need a 6 to glance it. Nope, and the assault cannon. Assault cannon, you are my only hope. Actually, that's not true. I have a librarian too. We'll try the assault cannon first. 3 hits, 6s will pin. A 5 will glance it. Glancing, stunned. That doesn't really help me. So, librarian is going to cast his whatever spell. It goes off. It's the
Little template, strength 10, AP 1, huzzah.
Let's see if I can blow you away. Yeah, that'll stick. So strength 10, AP 1, it'll pin you automatically. Blow up!
No, if you roll a 1, it'll just glance.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, right, okay.
So it pens.
Blow up! Yay, it blew up and exploded. How far does it explode? 3 inches.
It'll get a purifier or 2.
2 purifiers. None of my guys. Yay. Here's 2 purifiers. 1 wound. That's what I call last
sword.
Second.
Lived.
Last second retrieves.
Now, if there's a turn 6, maybe they'll live now. If the game ends on turn 5, they won't, because they don't get to regroup till the beginning of his turn, and they're currently falling back.
Right. Here, run move for them. 5 inches.
A run move. Oh, you're hoping the game ends and you're going to contest that.
Little things. Vindicator will go right here. Try and get 2 of those guys.
We're gonna buy the plastic and you guys just do all the work.
Yeah, we're gonna go on them. It's fine.
That's a miss.
Okay. It's gonna hit
2 naders
instead. Okay, here's 2 naders. 2 wounds.
All right, so we're not going to take one of these on my Grandmaster. I don't need him being instantly atomized. So at this point in time, let's take one on my...
I'm gonna fix my Rhino from his mobilization.
I'm going to take him on both my halberds. I'm faster than your guys anyway.
Both halberds died. I'm not going to shoot directly at them anymore, so you can take a morale check for those guys.
Okay.
And then I'm going to shoot the surefires with all of these, with all this fine stuff. You know what? God, it's really tempting. I feel like that Grandmaster is going to eat my lunch, though. You know what? Death or glory. I don't think I'm going to win this game anyway. We're going to go ahead and shoot storm bolters into these guys.
Okay.
And missile launchers.
We'll hold off on our test then.
Storm bolters. And the missile launchers. Everybody hits except for 1. Threw 2 dice off the table. That one still wounds. 4 wounds, 2 of which are insta-squishy.
Okay, so since a wound is a wound, I will not take either insta-squishy wound on the Grandmaster. And he'll take the other 2 though. So the Justicar, insta-squishy wound, it's fine. The Incinerator, also fine. And then the Grandmaster. He takes 1 wound.
Cool.
Alright.
I'm going to shoot the Dreadnought at...
Look how little that Dreadnought looks compared to that Dreadnought.
It's true. We're going to shoot this pesky vehicle here. Black, of course, is the missile launcher. Missile launcher hits. Last cannon doesn't. Last cannon's twin linked. They both hit. And glance and a pin. You do get covered.
Glance. Pen.
Goes through. Black is the pin. You are immobilized and weapon destroyed, and you're already immobilized. Oh, you've got two weapons.
So
both your weapons are gone.
both weapons are gone. All right.
I was really hoping to get you.
I think that's glued on there. We'll just.
That's too bad. Well, if there's another turn, then I've got something to shoot at, I suppose. All right, now a morale check for your Terminators. I think I'm done firing. Wow, that's the exact opposite of what I needed to roll. Okay. All right, we're gonna charge you here. I don't know if I like that, but here's the quandary, right? I could assault these guys here, and they've got they've got a decent chance of actually killing me before I get to swing. But if they don't kill me and I tie them up, and we had a 6th turn, I save myself 2 kill points here. Alternatively, and I don't think you're in over here, but alternatively I could kill these guys and then consolidate this way to contest that. But again, that's kind of a situation where it's like a last turn, this is turn 6 kind of situation. And I don't, I'm going to bet on that we don't have a turn 6. I don't know. See, I just don't know how this is going to turn out. We're going to go ahead and go over here after all, because I do...
Now you do think there's going to be a turn 6?
I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think at all. I think that this is what I know. If I have to guess, statistically there will be a turn 6. These guys can move this way and then just walk these guys off the table.
Correct.
So if I go over here, if I tie them up, I have a chance of tying them up.
Now if you come over here and then there isn't a turn 6, you give away a possible kill point maybe, or we'll see.
We're going to do the same thing over here. This could totally backfire, but we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to charge we're going to charge these guys.
Okay.
So you come back in.
Okay.
All right, let's do that one.
All right, well, first off, we have Psychotrack grenades. We also have Imperium Brain Mines, so that your sergeant has to take an initiative test to be able to swing.
All right.
So here's
Brain Mines. He's fine.
Okay, here's the Psychotrope grenades.
Ooh, that's a good result. We
2.
like that.
I don't know what 2 is.
I don't know what it is either, but it's not a 6.
I think I like it better than the 6.
I don't know. I think the 6 is pretty gross. 2. Suddenly it's also clear the fighting, your allies, the mortal wound, everything's just a huge cosmic joke. Best to sit down and have a good laugh at it. Lost in their own private polarity, the enemy units automatically hit the assault phase. Wow, that's great. They can still fight, but with a maximum of 1 attack per model. Never mind.
I like that one better than 6 personally.
Never mind.
Because that's a guaranteed your guys suck, as opposed to maybe you hit yourself.
All right. What else?
That's it. So the Grey Knight Grandmaster. Oh, we have... Now, I don't think he's going to benefit from his own counterattack grand strategy. So we're just going to give him his 3 base attacks.
Okay.
But they auto hit, so these are actually the to wound rolls.
Wounds.
Actually, first hold up. I do need to cast Hammerhand on a 9 and Hammerhand again on a 7 just to make me strength 6. And even though you're toughness 3, that was completely redundant. So that's 3 wounds from him.
Gross.
And I don't have any halberds left, so you're going to have to take those, and then we'll move on to the other guys.
Okay. So we'll take 1 on the sergeant. He's dead. 2 regular guys. They die as well. Wow. That is awesome.
And now I get to use counterattack. So both my sword guys.
So just threw away 5 Terminators.
They're on an auto hit again, so these are the wounds.
3, 4?
4.
All right.
2 each.
Cool. I shouldn't have taken on the sergeant. The sergeant could have swung at least. Yeah, 2 each. He lives. Haha. And lives. They both live.
Ridiculous.
Awesome. All right, so now they got 2 attacks. We'll go ahead and swing at the unit.
Well, that's all you can.
Yeah, we can't swing on the guy. So 2 attacks, both hit, power fists, both wound. Thank you very much. That was actually kind of amazing.
And 4 up.
They both made it. Never mind. All right, my stubborn roll. I stay.
All right.
Gross. Silliness. Shouldn't have done that. Big mistake. All right, over here.
We go first. We're gonna cast Hammer Hand, and it works.
Okay.
So let's see. I got 2,
You can roll everything together if you want. Doesn't really matter.
4. Yeah, I guess it really doesn't.
It's 8 attacks, or 10 attacks.
Well, one of them is the Justicar, so he'll be Mastercrafted. So here's not the Justicar.
4's to hit me. Half of them. And that's why the Brain Mines were so nasty. They allowed me to skip that stage. So 4 wounds so far.
That's right. I did cast Hammer Hand.
Justicar.
And the Justicar, Knight of the Flame, whatever. Mastercrafted. And one more.
He takes 2, but he's still alive because he's got 4 wounds.
Got 1 left.
Lysander, kill them. Exterminatus on them. Everything hits because I'm weapon skill 6. Everything wounds. 4 of those guys die.
They're fearless.
So you'll take 4 fearless saves, or 2 fearless saves. 'Cause
Yes.
You did 2 wounds to me.
I did 2 wounds to you. Let's see, which one used the... Oh. None of those was the... Oh, there we go. 2 and 4.
No, just 2. Good, like,
2, sorry. Had 2. You said 4 first, that's what stuck.
Yeah. He died.
Oh.
We'll consolidate 3 inches. Yay! Go Lysander. Hulk out. Alright. Cool. Well, that's the end of my turn.
No, it isn't. The Dread Knight.
Oh, Dread Knight. My guy. Hits you once. Doesn't do anything to you.
Alright, so... Wow.
You hit me once. I get to reroll. Good thing.
You're a corpse. 3 times. And the Dread Knight consolidates an inch. And does the game end. It ends. All over.
All right. Let's talk about some stuff. I
Let's
think
see.
you won. These guys are falling back, so that's 2 there.
2.
I'm contesting that. You're going to be out of range there.
Right. Barely.
It's 2 there. 3 from the tactical squad. 4 from the second tactical squad. 5 from this vehicle. That's it. 5. So this guy, these guys were that was a big difference. If they hadn't been falling back, I could have come back from that. How many did I get from you? 1, 2, 3 with the Terminators, 4 with the Purifiers. So it was closer than I thought. 4 to 5.
This is what made it closer.
Yes. These guys jumping over here. So these guys were useful.
Now, had we got a turn 6, I would have likely killed them, giving me 1 more.
Yep.
The Purifiers would have, at the very least, smacked the Vindicator with that hammer.
Yep.
That's maybe another. The Dread Knight, my money's on the power fistless Dreadnought losing, so that's another. And then it would have been
These guys are going to kill.
I would have. Lysander has 1 wound left.
These guys are going to shoot
I would have
Lysander
shot
down.
him immensely and then charged him. So I would have actually moved and then fired and then charged if I'd failed all that, because I do have 1 power sword and he's only got 1 wound left.
Right. So that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kill points probably.
That's a big swing. And then the only quandary would have been,
That's 6, 7.
do these guys move over here and just claim that one worth 3? Or do we go kill them worth 1?
Kill them and that's worth 3 as well.
We do that,
And it gets rid of these pesky guys.
and it would negate them being able to do something annoying to me that I've not foreseen.
Right.
Like kill guys.
Right. So it ending on turn 5 means that I get a minor loss versus a major loss.
But you'd have gotten 2 back because they likely would have regrouped.
Right. But
for nothing.
But I would have had maybe 4 or 5 kill points at that point to the 5 that you could easily get or something this turn.
Right.
So I think that it was a good turn for it to end for me. My most valuable unit I'm gonna say, man, I feel like these guys, before they made the dumb decision to charge, they did some cool stuff. They blew up this thing.
That thing coming down very early in the game was big.
Lysander probably ends up being my most valuable. He just tanked a squad by himself. He helped tank the other squad over here.
Bolter drill.
Bolter drill.
Drill for 2 turns was gross.
I think he probably is my MVP.
Your Dreadnought was where he was Deadeye Dan.
He was doing some good stuff. I definitely he was venerable too, which I never came up because I always rolled ones to miss. So I only missed like one time.
My MVP, it took all game to get him there, but it was probably the Grandmaster, both for what he did as far as close combat ability, but also what he did to my opponents when they charged me or he charged them, and what he gave to the rest of the army, even though hindsight being 2020, making more units scoring would actually be a much better way to have gone in this combat.
Which you forgot to roll for, by the way.
Oh, which I did forget to.
It doesn't matter.
To ease everybody's mind at home, here's my leadership check of a 10, which I made with an 8.
Yeah. Doesn't matter terribly.
The Vindicare Assassin was very disappointing because he was out of position for so long. The Purgation Squad, all of the guns that killed 1 to 2 naders a turn for several turns, those were MVPs. That was good. The Purifiers, I can't say that they underperformed. I mean, they fought Lysander, they fought things like that. They were okay. I had 1 unit of naders die pretty quickly, and another unit of naders spend a couple turns walking back and forth, so they weren't as awesome as I'd have hoped. Yeah, probably the Dread Knight and the Grandmaster. They were the stars of the game for me.
I have to say what I would not bring again if I had the choice. Obviously, this was kind of a cobbled together force. The tactical Marines that I have and the combination of weapons that I have on the tactical Marines is fairly useless. In building your own force or your own army, make sure that if you have a 10-man squad, you're always bringing in one of the assault weapon options, the flamer,
the multi-melta.
Right, and then a heavy weapon. And that makes splitting them worth it. I definitely think that was a weak spot in this list. The other thing is, these guys are great, and I like the Bolter Drill, but you saw a real situation here where they weren't as useful as Thunderhammer Storm Shield Naders. I would not have been afraid in a situation where he was pushing up, and I think he would have hesitated to push as much as he had if I had all Thunderhammer Naders.
Yes, definitely.
Sorry, we had to.
We ran out of juice.
We had to plug in our camera, which gives us kind of a limited mobility. Doesn't have the best options, but I'm pretty happy with how things performed. Obviously, Dave had some bad dice rolls, but I feel like those average out in general. I mean, especially considering everything all of the late game combats, it didn't matter terribly. And minor victory to the Grey Knights. So,
what I would not bring again, it's maybe not as much as what I wouldn't bring as what I would bring. I'm still hit or miss on the Dread Knight. He's cool, but he's a lot of points. And I would, for as many points as I spent on that guy, I could have had a whole nother unit of naders.
More, right?
And I like, even more than, and I really like the naders. I like the Grey Knight Grandmaster, and his grenades are stupid, completely.
They're awesome,
worth
terribly
bringing.
Powerful.
I really like the Grey Knight Librarians, especially with a warding staff, because you've got an independent character now with a 2-up invuln save, and their powers are 5 points apiece, which is a steal for some of those powers.
Yeah, and you can bring all of them,
and
too.
you can bring them all. And there's really not,
which is a change from a lot of the
in other
codexes.
There's a lot of this power is okay, this power is really good. You see people who bring the same power all the time because it's the only good one in the codex. Grey Knight's psychic powers, all those powers are really good. Maybe Sanctuary not quite as much, but everything else, quickening, might of Titan, hand of hammer hand, all of that. The warp rift ability is just, I've killed.
Warp Rift is gross.
I've killed Lysander with warp rift.
Template weapon that you have to roll initiative against, and if you fail your initiative, you just get sucked into the warp.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what you are.
And doesn't matter what your saves are.
Yeah, it bypasses saves, bypasses Eternal Warrior.
And since it's an individual characteristic test, you can use it to snipe people. So I have used it on Lysander being in a group of Terminators, and the Terminators actually all made their tests, but Lysander failed his and sniped him right out of the unit.
Yeah, that's fairly gross.
That's something I would bring if I had them. And then as far as what I wouldn't bring, like I said, maybe the Dread Knight, maybe the Purgation Squad. They were pretty expensive for those Psy Cannons.
And I made them walk.
And you made them walk a lot. Maybe if they'd had that, the jury's out there. I'd have to play another game where maybe they got more rounds to shoot stuff and see did I like them or not.
Did they get another turn to transport up
Never
closer?
make a decision. Never make a decision on your first game where things don't go your way and something doesn't work out, because you might end up missing out on a really great unit just because you had a bad experience.
Right. Cool. Well, thank you, Dave. Good game, sir. And yeah, we'll see you next time.